Water firms in England and Wales have been ordered to cut £114 million from bills. I'm going to read into this more from The Guardian, guys. Let's go. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is REGANELITE here with an article from The Guardian with the headline that water firms in England and Wales are ordered to cut £114 million from their bills. Fewer than half of the companies meeting their targets on leaks, says the regulator of what? They've been ordered to, but will they? That's the question. Will they? See, it's one thing for them to order it. Are they going to make the bills go down? That's the other thing. Let's read into it, shall we? So, water companies in England and Wales have been ordered to return £114 million to customers through lower bills next year because progress on leakage and sewage bills has been too slow. In its annual water company performance report, the regulator Ofwat said the majority of water and wastewater companies were underperforming on targets set for 2020-2025 to deliver better outcomes for customers and for the environment. Companies are judged against metrics including pollution, incidences, customer service and leakage. This year, no company has been ranked in the leading category. 10 companies are in the average category, while 7 are lagging. Anglian Water, Dŵr Cymru, Southern Water, Thames Water, Yorkshire Water, Bristol Water and South East Water. Since 2020, water companies have shown some improvements in areas including leakage and internal sewer flooding, and all but one achieved the performance level for unplanned water outages this year. However, progress has been too slow, Ofwat said. Over the past year, fewer than half of companies achieving their performance reduced on target on reducing pollution instances, and most companies reported an increase in annual leakage over the past year. There has also been an overall decline in customer satisfaction. Most companies have not fully invested in their 2020-2023 allowed funding to improve their performance. Water companies such as Thames Water and Southern Water have been fined repeatedly for discharging raw sewage into rivers and seas. It's infuriating to hear this. While some of these companies have made record profits for the sake of their shareholders, and yet they're just taking advantage. This is what happens. This is the means of privatisation. Privatisation can work if it's controlled in such a way that it doesn't undermine people. I've said that water companies should be handed within the state. Now, if you're going to privatise something like water or electric or whatever, you need to have sufficient reins, sufficient controls to make sure that they have certain set target and obligations that they must meet, and if they don't meet them, then they should be removed and taken back into the hands of the state because you failed in your obligations. We're going to give someone else a chance to do it. It should be these simple cases of it, of doing that. So, Ofwat said it was disappointed that companies have not made more progress in reducing pollution instances, especially the most serious sewage discharges. Yeah, they've kind of been allowed to get away with it, and the government's kind of like sat on its laurels on this incident as well. Steve Reed, the Shadow Environment Secretary, said this is devastating report demonstrates the complete failure of water companies to act on the sewage scandal. There can be no more damning metaphor for 13 years of conservative failure than stinking toxic sewage lapping up on our rivers, lakes and seas. In government, Labour will force the water companies to clean up their filth through automatic, severe and instant fines and make bosses responsible for their negligence. Ofwat said it was concerned about the limit levels of detail some companies have provided on improving water quality and reducing storm overflows. The two poorest performance companies in 2020, South West Water and Southern Water, have made sustained progress in driving improvements, but more is required. Despite their poor performances, the companies paid out £65.9 billion in dividends to shareholders in years up to 2022 and took on £54 billion in debt since they were privatised. £54 billion in debt. Three water company bosses, the Yorkshire Water, Thames Water and South West Water, gave up their bonuses this year amid public anger over companies' dumping of sewage in rivers. Yeah, they're already making enough money anyway. Overall, the 22 water bosses were paid nearly £25 million in 2021-2022. Firms have been criticised for failing to invest in ageing infrastructure, while high interest rates and the raise of the cost of services their billions of pounds in debt raise concerns over their financial stability. David Black, the Ofwat chief executive, said, "These targets we set for companies were designed to be stretching, to drive improvements for customers and environment. However, the latest report shows they are falling short, leading to £140 million being returned to customers through bills reductions. While that may be welcome to bill payers, it's very disappointing news for all those who want to see the sector do better. It is not going to be easy for companies to regain public trust, but they will have to start with better service for the customers and the environment. We will continue to use all our powers to ensure the sector delivers better value." Ofwat is investigating all 11 water and wastewater companies. That there are live enforcement cases for 6 companies and potential failures on sewage discharge into the environment. Anglian Water, Northumberland Water, South West Water, Thames Water, Wessex Water and Yorkshire Water. There are live enforcement cases into Dŵr Cymru and South West Water in relation to the accuracy of reporting of leakage and per capita consumption performance. Mike Keel, the Senior Director of the Consumer Council of Water, said, "Customers are tired of not getting the service they deserve for the things that they care about. It's right and fair that people get their money back when they don't receive the service that they were promised by some water companies. People want assurances that their water bills is good value for money." And the simple answer is, guys, it's not good value for money. We talk about the sewage discharge as well. The actual money it costs for water bills is ridiculous. We should not be paying such money just for drinking water, for having water. It's a ridiculously high amount of money. It should not have to come out of customers to pay for it, considering the dividends that they and shareholders that money that they are making there. And they're leaving massive amounts of debts. These water companies in massive debts. It's an absolute joke. It is literally a joke. I mean, are any of these water firms going to go bust before it happens as well? It's very frustrating, to say the least. I mean, if this means a reduction in bills, I welcome that. I hope so, but I still think that so much more needs to be done. And yes, I'm glad that Labour are kind of shouting about this as well, and I hope they shout about it in the build up to the general election as well, vowing to take these water companies to task as well, because they do, if they really cared about their jobs, they do a lot more, invest a hell of a lot more in our water infrastructure, and we need that investment. We really do, guys. But what do you guys think? Do you welcome Ofwat's performance sheet? Do you think it's enough? Do you think Labour are going to be strong enough when it comes to dealing with these water companies? Or should we just bring it all back into public ownership where it belongs? Would that make more sense? But then it means we've got to pay all these debts, these £1 billion worth of debts, which, quite frankly, I don't really think we as taxpayers should have to pay for. Something tells me we're going to end up paying for it in the end, either way. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Like, share, and subscribe as always. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very soon.